DonInLondon, hello. December the 7th. My video is all about recovery from addiction to either substance or behaviour and trying to live well, one day at a time. My addictive substance was alcohol, and my addictive behaviour, it was all about people, places, things. Collecting, trying to be right, trying to be perfect, trying to be whatever I thought you wanted me to be. And then I would fit in, then I would feel like I was included and I understood the rules of the game, whatever the game was. But I never really quite understood the rules of the game because I wasn't quite sure who I was or could become. I just kept saying yes. Can you do something for me? Yes was my answer. And I rarely said no. And I always put myself out there in, I suppose, danger, risky behaviour, because I thought it was the way we were meant to be, to keep on striving for something. But I never found out what the something was. So these days, sober one day at a time, and that's in a loose sense. Sober, I don't drink alcohol anymore. I try to find balance in life. I'm not addicted to any particular behaviour, I hope. And I question that now, even saying it. So what's helped me most? Well, fellowship. Beyond family, community, professionals who all played their part in helping me put myself back together, I realised I couldn't do it on my own. And once having stopped drinking, part of the story, or a large part of the story, if not the majority of the story, is about fellowship, and that fellowship is AA, Alcoholics Anonymous. I'm a part of it. I can never speak for it. Anybody who is part of AA speaks for themselves where they choose, and most people choose to do it in meetings, sharing experience, strength and hope, and I try to share a bit of experience, strength and hope here. So, December 7th, this year's gone very quickly, and in fellowship terms we always keep it in the day, one day at a time. And at the beginning of every meeting I go to, and I try to go to meetings as regularly as I can, we have an AA preamble which goes like this, and I share it because it is about part of how I like to live my life. So, AA, what is it? Alcoholics Anonymous is a fellowship of men and women who share their experience, strength and hope with each other that they may solve their common problem and help others to recover from alcoholism. And in fellowship it's all about unity, service and recovery, supporting each other, getting to the truth of now. The only requirement for membership is the desire to stop drinking. There are no dues or fees for AA membership. We are self-supporting through our own contributions. So if we have the ability to help with the rent and the coffee, we do, and if we haven't got the money, we don't. Some of us are very poor, but that doesn't stop us giving. We give in all many ways. AA is not allied with any sect, denomination, politics, organisation or institution, does not wish to engage in any controversy. However, every single person is allied with something or other and does have an opinion, and rightly so, but we put sober first. Neither endorses nor opposes any causes. Well, many of us oppose or endorse causes. That's what we're about. But fellowship is about sober. And as it says here, our primary purpose is to stay sober and help other alcoholics to achieve sobriety. And the reason why I say that every time is every time we say it at a meeting. And we say it at a meeting for a reason. And that's to remind us why we go, to stay sober one day at a time. And I emphasise that, and the reason why I read it every day, because it's important to me to remember that unity, service and recovery keeps me sober one day at a time. So if I'm trying to be helpful, that's good. But if I'm not helpful, that's good too. Because when we disturb other people by our behaviour, they can tell us about it, and we can also look inwards at what is disturbing us about other people. It's part of the program, working out why are we disturbed by some things other people do. So, I share here from the Daily Reflections this book, and it covers the AA 12 steps and 12 traditions. So 12 steps all about open, honest and willing to live my life one day at a time and see what I can do to be a part of, and unity, service and recovery, see how I can be helpful or unhelpful as time shows me. So for today, December the 7th, it talks about true ambition. True ambition is not what we thought it was. True ambition is the deep desire to live usefully and walk humbly under the grace of God. I was going to say God's grace. And, the word God does not disturb me these days. Sometimes, in the past, atheist, agnostic, believer, but that's based on life experience. And what I need to understand, there is a common understanding of truth, love, wisdom, which is part of nature and providence. So God is truth, love and wisdom, which often comes from other people. And life experience will teach me what it will teach me. That's what it will do. I can only learn what I can experience. Or is faith beyond that? Well, we learn faith too. During my drinking years, my one and only concern was to have my fellow man think highly of me, and that was me trying to fit in. My ambition in everything I did was to have the power to be at the top. I don't know if that was me. I think it's probably the opposite. But I don't know now. It doesn't matter. My inner self kept telling me something else, but I couldn't accept it. I didn't even allow myself to realise that I wore a mask continually. Yeah, my mask was a brave face, and a lot of yesing around challenges. Finally, when the mask came off, and I cried out to the only God I could conceive, the fellowship of AA, my group and the 12 steps were there. I learned how to change resentments into acceptance. So when I resent something, I need to look inwards at why do I feel resentment and anger? And what is acceptance around those things? Which is probably step one, powerless over people, places and things. People will do what they will do. To change resentments into acceptance, fear into hope, and anger into love. I've learned also through loving without undue expectations, and I set my expectations to 0 most days, so whatever happens, happens, and it's great. Through sharing my concerns and caring for my fellow man, that each day can be joyous and fruitful. Well, it can be, but there's still going to be tragedy about, because life is like that. I begin and end my day with thanks to God, who has so generously shed his grace on me, and in my case for several years to still be here on the planet. And, I think sometimes, or I feel sometimes, when we get a bit further along in recovery, we become immune to hearing the words of other people around their tragedy. And I think I feel over the last few days I've absorbed a tremendous amount of information about other people's tragedy, which has pulled me down a bit. What's my remedy? Well, to go to AA meetings and to listen and to share what's bothering me. And I'm tired at the moment, and that's okay. It's okay to be tired. It means I need to recharge in some way, and my best way is to sit in a meeting and listen carefully to what is being said, and what is being said by other people. So maybe I can be useful, or maybe I just need to sit there and recharge my batteries by listening to the wisdom of other people. So this is just one voice in recovery here. It is the many voices in AA and the fellowship, and outside of it. When I hear wisdom, I hear wisdom. When I don't hear wisdom, I don't hear it. I hear what's being said, but I don't hear wisdom. Anyway, time up for me. No matter what is going on in my life, I find unity, service and recovery helps me to remain open, honest and willing to change how I am. Can't change anything else. How I am is dependent on what is going on around me, life experience. So if I know my feelings fit my life experience today, I'm in the day. And when I'm not, or when things are a bit funny, I remember the serenity prayer to God of good conscience. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference is, for me, just for today.